Ancient societies had execution methods brutal enough to make your stomach turn. And in a disturbing number of them, there was a punishment reserved for something worse. Here's what you'll actually walk away with: not just a list of horrifying history, but the specific psychological mechanism that made certain societies treat total isolation as a fate beyond even their most brutal executions, and why a milder version of that same fear is probably still shaping your behavior today. Let's be honest about what ancient execution actually looked like, because the contrast is the entire point. Rome executed people by crucifixion, a slow public death by asphyxiation and exhaustion that could take days. For the crime of killing a parent, Roman law prescribed something even stranger called poena culi, the punishment of the sack. The condemned was sewn into a leather bag, sometimes with live animals, and thrown into a river to drown. Medieval and early modern Europe used breaking on the wheel, shattering a person's limbs with an iron bar while they were tied to a large wooden wheel, then leaving them exposed to die slowly. China's imperial legal system used a method known as lingqi, translated as death by 1,000 cuts, a prolonged execution designed specifically to maximize duration and public spectacle rather than speed. Various ancient, Near Eastern, and Persian sources describe impalement used as both execution and public deterrent, and boiling alive appears across multiple documented legal codes in medieval Europe and parts of East Asia as a sanctioned punishment for specific severe crimes like counterfeiting or poisoning. These weren't obscure footnotes, they were formal, legally sanctioned, publicly performed punishments recorded in actual legal codes in societies that considered themselves civilized by their own standards. And in a striking number of these same societies, there was a punishment some communities feared more. Ancient Athens formalized exile so precisely it gave us a word we still use. Once a year, citizens could vote to banish a single person for 10 years, no trial required, just a majority vote scratched onto broken pottery shards called ostraca. Rome had its own version, a legal status called interdiction from water and fire. Once declared, anyone who gave you food, water, or shelter became a criminal themselves. You weren't executed. You were simply made impossible to help in a world where surviving completely alone was close to impossible anyway. Here's the part worth sitting with, because it explains something the execution list alone can't. A psychologist named Kipling Williams has spent decades studying ostracism specifically, and coined a term that captures why isolation could rival, or in some societies exceed, the fear of the punishments you just heard described. He calls it social death. Williams' research found that being excluded activates threat responses in the brain comparable to physical danger, and that even brief, meaningless ostracism produces measurable distress within seconds, even when a person knows rationally it doesn't matter. In a small ancestral group, banishment wasn't symbolic. It was functionally close to a death sentence, just a slower, lonelier one than the wheel or the sack. No group meant no protection from predators, no shared food during famine, no help if you got injured, nothing standing between you and every other threat this channel has covered. A mind built to detect and fear that outcome would treat exclusion as being nearly as serious as death, because for most of human history, it effectively was the same threat, just stretched out over weeks instead of minutes. This is why banishment or shunning shows up as a maximum severity punishment across wildly disconnected ancient and traditional societies on nearly every continent, independent of contact with each other. The same underlying psychology made the same solution obvious every time a group needed its harshest available deterrent, sometimes harsher in the minds of the people living under it. than the executions sitting right next to it in the same legal codes. Here's the actionable piece. You don't live under a system that can formally banish you anymore. But the underlying wiring never got the memo that the stakes changed. Modern social exclusion, being left out of a group chat, unfollowed, quietly dropped from a friend group, activates a milder version of that exact same ancient threat detection system. It's not irrational that it stings more than it seems like it logically should. Ancient societies had execution methods brutal enough to make your stomach turn. And in enough of them to matter, banishment sat right next to those methods on the list of worst punishments available, sometimes above them, because the human brain was never built to distinguish alone forever from dead as cleanly as you'd expect.